What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. On this video, I'm going to be diagnosing the problems that the car had that we encountered in the dyno. Remember, we're breaking up after 20 pounds of boost. So the first thing that the first things that that everyone started suggesting was to check the grounds, and that turns out it wasn't a problem. I had already done this video. It's just the GoPro, for some reason, I don't know if the files got deleted or what, but I couldn't upload them to the computer. So the first thing we did was ground the alternator. Megman, I never read this, but they said to ground the alternator to the chassis, so that's one ground that we did. PRP coils, the ground from the coils, we actually grounded them to the head, specifically how they said back here, if you see, nothing there. And then from the head, there's one to the block, and then I did an additional ground from the block to the chassis. So I have a total right now of 2 grounds from the block to the chassis of the car. It's clean, stripped the paint, bare metal, it's good contact, and nothing, guys. So the next thing we did was, after that, was change the fuel filters, which I know wasn't the problem, but I needed to do, which you guys are gonna see in the next clip that I was able to get. So I did pick up the fuel filters from Treadstone. Here's one of them, you guys can check them out. I believe they're normally -10, that's how they are, factory machine, and then this is just a reducer for -8, which is what I have. Here's one, here's the other. Got these 45s just in case I need an angle. These are the fittings. I did get the brackets for them. However, I think I'm just gonna zip tie them to the lines that they are now. I know it's not, the nicest way, but honestly I don't want to drill into the body of the car. I don't want to use the self-chapping screws, and I'm gonna try with the zip line, with the zip ties. If they're on there pretty tight, I'm just gonna leave them like that. So I'll get that out of the way. And the other issue I had in the dyno was about the trunk here. I'm gonna get all this cleaned up here and take all the silicone out. I usually put silicone because of the vapors and the smell of the gas, so they aren't inside the cabin. But this plug here, I'm not bashing on PHR, but anybody that has a PHR bracket and runs into any fuel issues, go check your plug first. That might be the first thing. The ground one, actually in the middle, actually came out, and then these, they don't lock into place. They just kind of pop out of there. So this, because of this issue, we thought it was the fuel pumps, and I replaced all 3 fuel pumps, and that was pretty much there. I had to get 3 fuel pumps for no reason. So yeah, this is the other issue. I'm going to be ordering this plug from them on Monday, redoing these cables here, and I got to redo the PFT fuel lines inside that are in there. There's actually just regular lines in there. I just don't want them to corrode without the from the E85. So yeah, let me get to the fuel filters. Knock out one thing at a time. All right, guys, so before I take them off, I wanted to show you the ones that are here now. There's these small ones right here. Compare it to these, double the size. So I don't know how this got by me, but this should have never happened. I should have these good fuel filters for years ago. So let's take these out. All right, guys, just got done installing the new filters. Check these out. These are the old ones that were on there. These things are like literally the size of my finger. So yeah, guys, if you're debating on what fuel filters to go with on your fuel system, go with something bigger, not that small. Definitely not worth it. Had to cut about I want to say 2 or 3 inches of each line. They were too long, so I have to recut the lines because they were too long. And I was gonna reuse the fittings, but check this out. That's all corrosive stuff eating away there. I was definitely that when I put it on. I mean, these been there for about 7 years, so just kind of like a warning out there for you guys to keep out there. Keep an eye on the stuff. So all that stuff here is probably what ended up in the filters and clogged them in the first place. So all right, so I primed the system. We're about what is that, 22 pounds of fuel pressure. I'm gonna make sure there's no leaks down here. Let's get one here. Check it out. I use this old bracket that we had many years ago. Actually, when probably I was still NAT, so I have never taken it out. So look at that, I reused it. The other one I put it back here. It's on there pretty snug. There's nothing loose here. So yeah, hopefully we don't have any more fuel fuel pressure issues for a while, because I do not want to revisit this. All right, guys. See you guys in the next clip. So the other problem we were having was the actual connector on top of the PHR fuel pump hanger. I spoke to Sam, super cool guy. He took care of me, so I'm not bashing on him at all. Their product is great. Here's a new plug. If you guys see in here, there's like an epoxy melt, you know, resin, I guess, whatever you call it, so it holds the cables in place. Mine, for some reason, my version, you'll see it when I start taking it apart, it doesn't have that epoxy, and it is old. I'm guessing maybe it's one of the first versions that they came out, and then later on they modified it. But here you could definitely see it has it on both sides. So my ground in the middle actually backed out, and we thought that was a fuel pump's not working. It was just a bad ground that we couldn't see, because remember, this comes shrink wrap in a black wrap. So if anyone has an issue and has one of these brackets and you have the older version, you know, go to that first. You know, that could be saving you a big headache and, you know, pumps like I did. Also went ahead and ordered this. You know, this thing gets like all messed up and chewed up when you take it off, on and off so many times. So I went ahead and ordered a new one. That's the part number if anybody needs it. The new lines for the inside, from the bracket to the pump, because I just threw some regular lines on there. These are E85 compatible. Clamps for that, and then some new install kits. I reuse the same old socks on the pumps when we took them on last time. So I went ahead and I'm gonna be in there, you know, and I honestly, it's not fun to be taking on and off those 3 pumps together. I'm just gonna go ahead and put new boots in there now. All right, guys. So I try to get you a good angle here, so you kind of see me take this rear setup here off. Just want you guys to see how fast I can actually take this off. Screw these 4 here, 1 each side. Sorry, I know it's kind of windy. It's not connected, people. It's just hentai. It's just for show. Lift. Just combine one. That's it. Bottles out. So take this side off first. This side's out. Put these in here, lose them. Here's the side with the sub. Plug the 2 cables for the subwoofer. Done. That's it. All right, we're good. These had hand time in here. Out. Get that out. All right, guys, so this is the plug I wanted you guys to see. If you see in there, there's no epoxy or silicone or nothing. I think this might be because it's like their first generation or first version of this plug or this bracket. I had it for, I want to say 2015, and maybe they updated afterwards. So I'm gonna be swapping out this plug. Gonna be resoldering all these cables here, new ground, and this is the clamp that I was telling you guys. You see how it gets all chewed up from taking on and off. So yeah, this ground right here in the middle was the one that was backing out. It's on there tight because I kind of hammered it in with a screwdriver, but you know, there's no really, if it comes out, we didn't know what the issue was. So all right, let's take this thing out. All right, guys, so we have the bracket out. This is the old plug. It's still connected, so you can see they kind of look like they're backing out of there. These are the hoses that I use temporary on the dyno. These are regular, you know, just advanced auto fuel hoses, which they look like they're already kind of expanding with the ethanol. So I'm going to be replacing those with these, and the socks of the pumps I reused a couple times. So I got these from PHR. I'm gonna put on new socks as well. The pumps are brand new. You guys saw in the dyno section, we put them all three brand new. So here the tricky part is gonna be figuring out which cable is to what. I know the pumps is just power and ground, and then these is signal and the light for the floater. So all right, let's do that. All right, guys, you can see here we're all wrapped up. Installed the new socks on the three pumps, new plugs. You can even see the plugs on the pumps are actually still new. Probably only been there like 100 miles. Float is free. You see here, comes all the way down, goes all the way up, and the tank is full. Gotta make sure these don't touch it. Just gotta come over here, so when the float goes up and down, it doesn't get stuck on there. I'm thinking of zip tying all these over here together so it's free from the float when it's in full. Put a zip tie there. Shouldn't hurt it. Alright, 1 second. Let me set this down really quick. Just so it keeps them in place. So my cutter. Yeah, just so when the floater is all the way up here, you know, when the tank is full, it doesn't tend to get stuck, and it's free up and down. And over here, obviously, this is the low light signal, and that's it. Here I wanted to show a side-by-side comparison of the old plug and the new one. So this is the new one. clearly see, and this is the bottom part of the tank. This is not what I discovered that I had the problem with. See, it has that black waxy epoxy stuff. This is the old plug that was in there. Same fold pattern. You can tell this might have been maybe like their first version of the plug. You're just kind of in there, so something to look out for, you guys. You know? All right, so this might be kind of the part that I hate doing this the most, is putting this thing back in, because I feel like I'm pressing these things together. Well, here's the old plug. All right, guys, just got wrapped up here, putting on the new plug. Had to solder all these cables in. Did the new ground. Here's the old plug again, the inside part, and the outside one. So you can see clearly there was no wax or nothing in there. The cable just backed out. Again, guys, this is not to bash out. There's not to bash on PHR. You know, they have great product. This just might have been one of like their very first versions, and obviously they fixed the problem, and it's a lot better now. Those are the old socks that were also replaced. Those were, it's all filthy. That's probably only been there for a while, so I'm glad to change those. Full of stuff too. The hoses that I temporarily put on the dyno, look, they're already kind of soft. So yeah, don't use regular hoses for the E85. And the ring that was all chewed up. So yeah, let's put everything back together. Actually, let's try it out first, make sure that everything works fine, and just in case, you know, we put this thing back together and we gotta take it apart. All right, sounds like we're good. All right, guys, so you can see trunk is back to normal. Obviously the fuel pump or the fuel harness for the bracket wasn't the problem that we're having with the breakup issue. It's, you know, it's a spark issue, but it's something that I needed to address and I needed to take care of, which I already did. And that's the purpose of this video, to, you know, kind of to fix the issues I had on the dyno before we go back. Now, getting to the spark issue, I don't want to make it 100% official, but according to Lance, he had a GS300 that he was tuning that has the same PRP coil kit, and those white stocks that are down there, you can see them, which I see they use it in all their kits. Apparently, the way the spark travels through them all the way to the spark plug, it doesn't when it gets to the spark plug, it kind of just, you know, it bursts and it doesn't get all the juice from the spark plug. So we went ahead and ordered some boots. I believe it's like a GM part number, I'm not sure. I ordered them from Summit. If that is a problem, then, you know, I'll address it. I'll make a thread about it and I'll post a link with the part number, so anybody that has a similar issue or runs into something similar can you know, can relay and can fix their problem. But as of now, we think that's the issue. Hopefully it is. I checked voltage with the car on, car off. All coils are getting the same voltage, so it's not a power issue. But he strongly thinks that is a problem, because he had it on another customer's car with a GS300, and as soon as they swapped out the car, you know, it started working fine and started making power. So guys, you know, the reason obviously I don't have them in there because they're on back order. I ordered them from Summer Racing. It took me about 2 weeks, so probably like another week and a half. I should have them here. We'll put them on and I'll take it for a test drive. If it goes over anything over 20 pounds, then I know it's good. So hopefully that takes care of the problem, and we'll be back on the dyno, ready to rip. Guys, you know, obviously you don't need to see what coils change and changing boots on them. It's pretty simple. But this is gonna be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions or comment, you know, comment down below, or, you know, DM me on Instagram. I'll be more than glad to help anybody, assist anybody. And like always, guys, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and good luck to everybody. Happy Sunday.